Hello and welcome everybody. Today we are going to be looking at my 10 most anticipated games coming next year. We do though at first have some that I want to talk about that are already in shops and are already out there that I am thinking of picking up in the new year. So we're going to have a look at those in just a minute. But the 10 we are going to be talking about that I'm most excited for are ones that I backed on Kickstarter and I am very, very excited to receive. So let's get into them, shall we? Starting with The Thing, the board game. So this one is available in shops, although most places seem out of stock, the vast majority. And I am really excited for this. So The Thing is obviously my favourite horror film, so that is already a great start. But it's this right here, this 1 to 8 players, that I am really, really excited for. And this has a board that is basically the entire map from the first Thing film. Although I shouldn't say first Thing film because it basically was a remake, wasn't it? So yeah, the 1980s Thing film. Let's say that, shall we? So this is the board. It has all the characters. The base game only comes with 8 people. You have to get the other 4 from people who are selling it on, basically, which I have seen people selling it on. The other 4 characters from the film, because there was 12 of them. So you can have every single person in this. And basically how it works is, depending on how many people are playing, even as a solo player, 1 or 2 of them will be the Thing. And so it's basically a game of Among Us. You have to go out there, do tasks. So like you'll have fires to put out, you'll have the radio room to operate to basically get a helicopter in to come and rescue you. You'll also have to keep on track of generators and oil barrels, things like that, making sure everything is working properly. And all the while, you're testing each other out to see if one of them is the Thing. So yeah, it is basically a big game of Among Us, and the fact you can play it solo with all the characters, because someone on Board Game Geek has played solo with all 12 characters. Oh, that's just amazing. That is really amazing to me. And people can get infected and things like that, and you never quite know who is who. Yeah, this game I am really, really excited for. It's just suddenly getting out of it. Getting out of it is a bit of a pain. So there is that to it. But as you say, McCready and that what's all here. You don't get the miniatures in the regular version. You only get the miniatures in the Kickstarter version. So you'll have standees. Standees is perfectly fine for me. I am more than happy, and it seems to be round about priced about 40 to 50 quid. Yeah, really, really excited for the Thing. Can't wait to get hold of it. Next up is Architects of the West Kingdom. Bit of an oldie now, but you know, I'm only just getting into these worker placement games this year, and this one looks great. It's by Shem Phillips yet again, who did the Viking game that I absolutely adore, Raiders of the North Sea, and it's very similar. The artwork's all similar, as you can see, basic artwork. And you have to basically go out there, do lots of tasks and start building towards a cathedral. I think that's what you have to do in this one. And then you get points depending on how many times you do that. There is a solo bot in this, and the solo bot will like arrest you and stuff like that. And so you don't want to have loads of people on all these tiles because you can put multiples on there. So the solo bot will just put them in prison. Yeah, I think this looks fun. It looks great. It's basically point based, so again, it's one of those get the most points, but I am excited to play this because of Raiders of the North Sea, and it is a fresher take on the system. I like the idea of building up like a cathedral. That's what interested me the most about that Hamlet board game, but apparently that is terrible, so I'm glad I actually didn't buy that one in the end. But yeah, nice worker placement game, and I am looking to pick this one up probably with my Christmas money. Thirdly, we have Hadrian's Wall, and this is a flip and write game. I want to say it's a flip and write, because it's not a roll and write. There's no rolling whatsoever. You basically have this. It is 2 sheets, and you basically like mark things off, and you have to complete Hadrian's Wall and stop the barbarians from invading. So these are like the Scottish picks, aren't they? Yeah, you are just doing that, and you're marking stuff off with a pencil and just going through it. It looks complicated, it looks complex, but it looks so much fun. And I've not got a proper, basically like marking off roll and write. The only roll and write I have is Long Shot the Dice game. So I am excited for this one. It's a theme I love. I love Romans. Obviously, it's in England. So yeah, I'm very much excited to play this game. It's just very, very expensive for what it is, I feel. I feel it could be a little bit cheaper than what it is. But yeah, it is there, and I am excited to pick this up. It does look fun. And apparently there is so many ways to win this game and get the maximum amount of points possible. So hopefully sometime next year I'll pick that one up. Lastly, in terms of pickups, it is World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King. I wanted to pre-order this one. I've had this one on my radar for a very long time, but it is sudden expensive in England anyway. Mostly it's about 50 quid, if not more, 50, 55. And for me, that is very pricey, especially when you see that this one now, some people in America buying it for like solid £12.50, 15 quid. Yeah, 50 quid for this is very pricey when you consider other pandemics usually go for about 15 to 20 quid. And so I'm waiting for the price to come down. I think if it went to around about the 25 quid price range, I would jump in and pick it up. I'm waiting for Game basically to do a sale on it, because it seems to be the only place I can actually find it in stock these days, and not a lot of others online seem to have it in stock, and it seems to very much hold around about that 50 quid price range. And for what it is, it's just a basic pandemic game where it's set in the Warcraft world, and you have the Lich King, and basically your infections and the dredge. Oh, suddenly now I've just completely lost the name of the Warcraft. Oh my god! Someone shoot me. But yeah, Scourge. It's a Scourge, isn't it? You basically got them infecting everywhere because all the undead and everything. Because the Witch King is the Lich King is doing his thing. My speech today, absolute shocking. But anyway, that is the final one. I am excited to play it. As I say, I just want the price to come down. I'm waiting for someone to flog it on Facebook and that. What I think I want to get hold of it, but the price is putting me off. Let's get into my Kickstarters. So the first one, number 10, is Scrumpy Cards Cider. So I completely forgot all about this game. I think a lot of people have completely forgotten all about this game. It has been so long. I mean, this was supposed to deliver when? January this year? Yeah. It has just been delay after delay after delay, and I think it's coming sometime next summer, I think. It still looks fun. It still looks great. So if we get to the updates of it, you can see the cards are all done. So all the cards, they're all done. And shipping and fulfillment is starting to sort of get ready. But I enjoyed this for what it was, because it was pretty cheap, 33 quid. It is based on Scrumpy, which is obviously my favourite cider. And my drink of choice, actually, I only drink cider. I'm only a cider drinker, me. And even then I don't touch the stuff much, but Scrumpy for me was always the go-to. And you basically have to build up loads of points, basically, and it's got like a solo mode on it and everything. You get your orchids going and you basically work towards some goals, and you can utilise the cards as apples, wood and barrels and things like that, and build up. And yeah, it looked really fun. I played it on TTS very much when I backed the Kickstarter, and that was 2 years ago now. Yeah, it was great. I just feel as though it's been a long time since we were supposed to get it. And so I completely forgot all about this game up until the update come to me the other day. Well, not the other day. It was November. Yeah, completely forgot all about it. I completely forgot I'd backed it. Completely left my mind. And you never want that with a game, I feel. You always want to be excited for something. And looking back at it, and I have actually played the game on TTS again recently, I am still excited. I'm excited to see what the changes are. But mostly, I'm just hoping at this point that it is okay. That's all I can hope for at this stage. I'm hoping it's okay. So yeah, that's number 10. Number 9 is Witcher The Old World. I actually didn't back this one on Kickstarter. It says manage your pledge because I give it £1. And I actually backed out. I didn't back it. So yeah, there's one. I completely backed out. Why? Because I initially didn't think that the solo mode to it was going to be that intuitive or interesting. I was never going to back up for anything other than just the standard box anyway. That was what I was going to go for. I didn't care about the models or anything like that. I was completely fine with just having these models right here, just the Witcher models, and then using tokens and just cards for the monsters. I did not care whatsoever about all the miniatures lying or anything else like that. Didn't bother me in the slightest. It's the card play and everything which is the most interesting part of this game. This, to me, seems like what I wanted Mage Knight to be. And it also seemed like it was this one or Skyrim. And now, if you're in the UK, and if you've watched this channel, you've seen the news that I back Skyrim for £40. And so we recently this week got notification that they aren't honouring that pledge, even though at the beginning of December they said they would honour that pledge and price. So yeah, everyone basically who pre-ordered Skyrim from Game got their orders cancelled. So Game, probably in January, are going to have a massive sell-on of Skyrim board games, I would think, because they've probably had upteenth number of people get their pre-orders cancelled and they're not paying the £130 that Game now want for that sodding game. So I had basically some birthday money spare. And I found this game right here, Witcher The Old World, just the standard core box, for £45 online from one seller a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week, wasn't it? So last week found it for £45 online. They had a little bit of a sale on it, and they also did have a voucher as well. And so yeah, I basically used the Skyrim money to buy Witcher The Old World, just the standard box. And as I said, it was a toss-up between this and the Skyrim board game, because it basically looked like it was the Mage Knight that I wanted. So what I mean by that is it has more exploration and quests, better card play, better deck building. You can actually have fun in a shorter time frame, and the exploration is a lot easier in that one as well. So for me, it was a toss-up between that and Skyrim, and since Skyrim was 40 quid, that was the one I was going to go for, but as soon as the game cancelled, I got straight on this one and basically decided to have this one. The Witcher theme does wonders for me. I love the Witcher world. I have read a few of the books, not all of them, I will be honest. Watched all the series, played all the games. Yes, even the crappy old ones. Yeah, Witcher 1, man. Terrible controls. But glad it's being remade. Anyway, I have backed this now, and I'm just waiting for it to arrive. These are delivering, I believe. They are delivering as we speak. So anytime over Christmas in January, they are delivering. The place I've ordered it from, I think it will arrive like early January. I'm going to send it out to me. So hopefully these all start to arrive and people get them and enjoy them. And I am actually looking forward to playing it. So yeah, it is one of those. Number 8 for me is Chronicles of Drewnegore, and I splashed way too much money on this game, I feel, because I went all in except for the big miniature. So it wasn't the master all in, it was the gameplay all in. Yeah, that one right there. So that was 336 quid, and it cost around about 100 and something with VAT and postage. So it was closer to 500, I believe, is what I paid for this. Yeah, that was a thing. I've never spent that much money in my life. I actually nearly gave myself a sodding hernia. Yeah. This game looks amazing. Can we just say that Chronicles of Drewnegore looks amazing? But I think I should have gone for what I originally wanted, which was just basically the first game and the Apocalypse game, because there's more than enough with both of them and with the stretch goals and expansions. It is a dungeon crawler with elements where you have to use your powers based on, let's try and find the board. No, there's nothing there. Oh, can we see any hero powers here? So you have like different powers and abilities, and you use action cubes to place them, and then when you recall all your action cubes back, you have to basically lose an ability, and if you take damage and stuff like that, you can lose abilities. So yeah, stuff starts to get really blocked off, and so it is a very interesting take on a Gloomhaven style system, because you've only got so many abilities you can use, and then you have to give some up as you rest. And for me, I wanted to go all in because I had the money at the time. I could do it, but in all honesty, a year and a half after, because this was ages ago when I backed this, wasn't it, and paid for this. A year and a half later, part of me thinks I shouldn't have spent so much money, because one and done with how many quests are in this game alone, and with how many quests will be in the second game alone without the expansions. Yeah, just one and done is probably all you're ever going to play. I would say. I would doubt I would play through the entirety of both games twice. I think I'll play through them once. And so, will I get 500 odd quid's worth? I don't think I will. And that is my issue as I'm looking back on it, basically. Because the minis, everything look amazing. The hand management and the actual building of your deck up, basically your powers up, I think that is great. The way that the monsters activate, you instantly know it's got like a Final Fantasy type system, or it's not Final Fantasy, is it? It's more like Grandia 2. That was what I used it as. I think it was more like akin to Grandia and Grandia 2, if you ever played those, because it tells you exactly where people act, and so you always know what monster or which hero is going to act. And there's like this D&D campaign style interactions book and everything like that, and you got loads of tiles and tokens and hidden doors that can change the gameplay. And then the 3D modular dungeon design, which is probably a bit saft, but let's see what it is when it gets here. I think I spent too much money. I do. Because I've got all this lot, I think I do have spent way too much money, and I'll probably only play through it all once and then probably be trying to sell it on, which I'll never get my money back for. But the things you do, it's just the way it is. Still excited to play it. Number 7 is 11 Football Manager, and I have to say it right now, but I am deeply, deeply disappointed with Portal Games, or whoever the maker is of this. I don't know if Portal Games have just distributed it, made it and distributed it, or whether they actually are in full control of this game. But I am deeply disappointed with these, because every single reviewer that they seem to have sent this sodding game out to, in English anyway, and the ones that I've seen, there might be people who've got it in English who I've not seen so far on YouTube, but watching all the big content creators, they are not football fans. So they do not understand the theme. And for me, I think that's a bodge job. I really do. There's got to be some sodding football supporting channels out there, surely. Look, I'm a massive football fan, and I ain't even suggesting that I should have ever been looked at. My channel's deader than dead, so I get why I'd never get looked at by anybody. But there's got to be some channels out there with over 5,000 subscribers who are blooming football fans, or at least know a bit about sodding football. Most of the ones that I've watched, they know absolutely nothing. They basically crap all over football and have viewed this as a basic board game. Some not even viewed it as a solo-only board game, which is what it basically is. And for me, that takes away from the theme and stuff, because the theme is aiming for people who are solo players who love football and Football Manager, not using it as a straight up board game, which is basically meant to be like Pret-a-Porter or something like that. That's what a lot of heard people mention it about, and I don't even know what that game is. I always thought it was just a film. But yeah, for me, I think they dropped a clanger. I am excited, but apparently it's not the best. So this is nowhere near the best board game. Apparently it gets very boring and very tedious very, very fast. And so, of course, I went all in. Yeah, I went completely all in. Very expensive. But I am hoping that I can get some enjoyment as someone who has hours upon hours on Football Manager games, and I can at least find some enjoyment, basically. That's what I'm hoping for. So it should be delivering soon. I think most of Europe's got it now. It's only basically us in the UK and America that got it. So hopefully it should be here anytime soon. Can't see anyone in the UK who has got it. Hopefully they'll start fulfillment today. So that was the 16th. Next week. Yeah, Royal Mail. Royal Mail are on strike. I'll stand with you, Royal Mail. I do. And nurses. Stand with them. But yeah. Everything, postage and that what is affected in the UK. So hopefully we will get it either next week or even after Christmas now. because, yeah, the kids are off school, so I doubt I'll be able to play this till January anyway. But hopefully it's still good. On to the next one, and that's Resident Evil. So, yeah, number 5 on the list, Resident Evil. So, big fan of Resident Evil I am, especially the first game. The second one is my favourite, and I like the old second one. The remake was fine, but it took away from basically what I enjoyed the second one. And it might be due to the fact that I had played the second one, the A and B sides, so many times over the years that I could rack up like the 2.5 hour completion time and stuff like that, or 3 hour, whatever it was. I could rack up that completion time with my eyes closed near enough. I was so good at that sodding game. Yeah, it was fun to me. It was a great game to play. I loved that. But this is based on the Resident Evil remake, the first Resident Evil remake, which is on the GameCube. And oh my God, I remember buying the GameCube just for that sodding game. And I played the hell out of that as well. So yeah, anything Resident Evil 1 and 2 always gets me excited. I remember missing out on the Resident Evil 2 Kickstarter game when they did it first because I wasn't a fan of Steamforged games. They messed me up with Dark Souls, and so I didn't want to give them money. And them having this license made me also hold my nose, you know? This is like going to the sodding polling booth and holding your nose voting for Labour lately. Yeah, really was. I had to hold my nose buying this, basically, giving Steamforged games money, because after Dark Souls I basically refused, because I didn't enjoy Dark Souls and what they did, waiting 3 years for my stretch goals to come. But I held my nose, bought it, and it does look fun, and it looks completely different to what Resident Evil 2 and 3 were, because those two games haven't got the best reputation, and a lot of people said that this one completely changes up the gameplay for the other two. And it looks like it does, because it's got more exploration to it, basically. Like all these tiles, you'll only have like one tile, and then the rest will flip out as you go through and find the doors and stuff and open them, so it's always going to be different. Yeah, very much excited for that, and the wife will probably actually play this one with me as well, because she is a fan of the very first Resident Evil also. And the very first Silent Hill. If anyone makes that first Silent Hill into a board game, my wife will be over that like anything. I always preferred Silent Hill 2. But yeah, I am excited for this, and I do think the wife will play with this one with me. And my eldest son probably would as well, because he's watched me play all the Resident Evils recently. It was just in the summer, yeah. I went through the entire Resident Evil catalogue that I've got with him, and he enjoyed everything up to 4. Yeah, so I am excited for Resident Evil the board game, even though I had to hold my nose buying it. Number 4 though is Primal The Awakening, which should have been here by now, but unfortunately it is not. It's not here. Yeah, I only backed the, what is it, core pledge? That's what it is, isn't it? Just the main box and everything there, which you get enough of. This is just what's in the main box. So I am hopeful and excited, because this looks like the perfect Monster Hunter game. I am a big Monster Hunter fan. Very big. So Steamforged having the license, again, turned me off greatly. And this one seems to have the style of game much more in tune, because the action deck here and the way that your characters all have different weapons and abilities based off the weapons and the fact that the monster doesn't really dive all over the board, so you end up having to run and chase it down. It's always in your face, and you have to basically dodge and weave and attack it from different weak points. It is spot on, perfect Monster Hunter for me. Solo as well. Yeah, there is enough here. More than enough here. I mean, how much did that cost? That was what? Oh, I can't remember what it was. 110 or 120 quid, something like that. Perfect. Absolute perfect. Can't wait to play it. It should be here next autumn, I think they've said. So next autumn, next late summer. That's when it should be, around about here. You know, autumn, September, maybe even into October. That late on period of next year, but it should be here for then. They're taking everyone's postage money, I believe, next summer, or them doing it in April. I can't remember exactly, but this to me looks absolutely amazing. And even the style, I mean, look at that double-handed sword there, two-handed weapon. You got the bowcaster there. Oh, love the what's it called? That's sword and board. Oh, I ain't played Monster Hunter for a while, and it shows. Oh, the mallet guy, usually just a rock, and you just smack monsters right in the head with it, and it knocks them out instantly near enough if you can time it right. This is perfect Monster Hunter. And look at that. The Torment. Got the Kara. Dragons. Yeah. And you got the big beastie as well. Got like the electric wolf on here, which is usually an electric lizard in the game. Yeah, I am excited for this. Very, very excited for this. Yeah, it's usually like this. That's like a lizard type creature that's electric in Monster Hunter. Crafting as well is all included. This game, man, it just looks so amazing. You can still pre-order as well. You can still late pledge. There's a bit of an uptake on the price. So you don't pay that. I think you pay near enough this one right here. So it is around about 150, because you got to think exchange rates because of Brexit a bit crap now. But you can still jump in to this one right now. And yeah, I am super hyped for Primal The Awakening. This is one of the most that I'm excited for. But let's get into the top 4. And number 4 is Six Siege, which I'm hoping now that we actually do manage to get, because Mythic Games has gone into meltdown. But it will hopefully be here at some point. It said June 2022. Yeah, we was never going to get there. I think most of us expected Christmas at the least. I think it'll be here next summer. So hopefully we do get it. That's the big one, right? Because I went all in on this. Went for the all-in pledge on this one. And yeah, I'm hoping that we get everything, and everything arrives on time, and everything is fine. This is what I want, the Trooper gameplay all in. That's what I went for. So everything there. There's been so many issues with this sodding game. Even the, she was supposed to get didn't come properly. The extra character skins properly. Oh god, that was terrible. I like Six Siege, the game. I enjoy it. But this board game, the way that they've done it, it looks amazing. It plays amazing. Yes, it's not solo. I would have to play two-handed solo, which is what I do. And I have been playing this on TTS for a while. It is so much fun. You literally have just the one board on the TTS, which is a shame, because you can basically get your way around this system very well. But there's so many things you can do, like jumping down or shooting down through things and going upwards, going above, shooting through walls, everything like that. It is full on. You get into a firefight on this game, you are basically as good as dead on one roll. It is brilliant. It totally relies on movement and using your abilities correctly, scouting the enemies out, and also, you know, doing the objective. It's fun. It is super, super fun. And Mythic make amazing games. The only trouble with Mythic is it looks like Darkest Dungeon have killed them, which is a shame. But you get all this upgraded stuff and everything like that. A lot of people will probably be shooting him. But yeah, it looks great. And it features everything up to last year, basically. So Flores was like one of the ones from like last year. I'm excited still because I think this is going to be a big game played by me. Hopefully my son might be interested as well because he enjoys this sort of thing as well. So hopefully we can sort of play it together occasionally. But I'd just play this thing solo. I've been having so much fun playing like war games like this solo. I have to say I have. So yeah, I am excited. That's why it's number 4 on my list. Number 3 though is Dead by Daylight, the board game. And as you can see, I did go for the collector's edition, and this should be here soon. It is near enough done, if I remember right. So yeah, here, look, this is all the miniatures and everything's done. You've got all the spaces for the cards. This is the collector's box that I backed. Look at that. That is brilliant. This is all the pegs for the generators and that one. I still play Dead by Daylight. My son plays Dead by Daylight. My wife plays Dead by Daylight. Yeah, we are excited for Dead by Daylight in this household. And the fact that it's got basically all the killers that we love. So my favourite is Oni. That's my favourite killer. And my son loves... Oh, where are they? All the miniatures here. Oh, no, they're not. My son loves the Legion. It's a shame there's only one Legion miniature. There's only Frank here. But my son is also a fan of Hillbilly, the Nurse. I am a big fan of Huntress, and I also love Wraith. We all love Trapper. Spirit, yeah. My son's also a fan of the Trickster and the Twins. We love Dead by Daylight in this house, and we cannot wait for this to come because it's just such a great, simple game. And it is basically what Dead by Daylight is. Dead by Daylight is not complicated. You have a monster that kills, and you have the survivors try to run the monster away in the opposite direction to buy time so everyone can do the generators. And then you escape. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I know the boards look a little bit naff, but hopefully that was just the one that they were showing in the previews. Yeah, I am hoping that a lot of the other boards, the double-sided ones, look a little bit better than what were in the preview section. But I am just suddenly excited for this game. We all are. We're big fans waiting for this one. Big fans. Number 2 for me is Mythic Battles Ragnarok, which was low on the list. I will be honest, it was much lower down on the list. But since I've actually owned and played Mythic Battles Pantheon now, this has skyrocketed and my excitement is off the charts for this sodding game. And I went all in. So I went for this pledge right here, and I am super glad that I did right now. I did originally want this one. That was what I was going to go for. I wanted basically the Mythic Battles Pantheon all in because I do prefer Greeks to Norths. You know, I am more of a Greek buff than a Norse buff. My history of Norse mythology really extends to God of War and things that I've picked up from other games along with Marvel. So my Norse mythology isn't amazing. Yeah, it's basically watching TV and playing games that are based there. But now I've played this one, I am very much excited for this one because I want to basically have everything right. So we've got all these. We've got some Titan figures. We've got Ragnar and that what. We've got the Asgard expansion, which is Odin and everything. It's a shame you had to buy Odin separately, but it seems much more compact, whereas this lot is quite spread out and you don't really need everything here, I don't think. I am still looking for a couple of these expansions. Like I would like the Judges of the Underworld and Hephaestus, and probably picking up Hera. I'm not bothered about Poseidon, even though I would like the Poseidon god model. Dionysus is apparently broken as hell, and you cannot get these ones like here. These are like ones specifically for the Kickstarter. And I know they've got a third Kickstarter coming, so they'll probably release most of these again. And that'll mean, because it's going to be Egyptians, I am definitely not a fan of Egyptians. The Egyptians do not bother me at all. So I can back for £1 and hope that they release some of this yet again, and I can pick some of it up. Basically that one, and maybe the Titans. Maybe the Trojan Wars, the Heroes of the Underworld, the Sphinx, and Dionysus. Maybe, potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably go for the Manticore over Dionysus, because he's very, very broken from what I've seen. I also don't need the storage box, even though it would look nice, but I've got everything stored. Either way, that's the way it is. Yeah. So I am looking to pick up some of these in future, but I am very, very excited to play Ragnarok. And I want to see how the powers and the gods' abilities work out more. And especially Titans like Nidhogg and Surt and Jormungandr. I want to see how they work out as well, because they will no doubt have to fill the board. But the gameplay is amazing. Now I've actually played it fully rather than playing it on TTS, which is very basic. Yeah, even the solo Nemesis system, spot on, amazing, great. But there's one more that I am more excited for, and that is Heroes and Gods, the Master of Dreams. I have been excited for this game for 2 years running. It has been delayed that much. It was supposed to arrive in 2020 and never materialised. Then 2021 it got delayed. 2022 it has been delayed. We are apparently getting it in the summer, I believe. He is currently trying to do like another expansion for the Kickstarter for it, like a new Kickstarter, so as he can try and get a little bit more money. They do have money issues. I think basically the VAT and Brexit and everything has affected them, and so he is trying to get it done. I believe he's a one-man show, so it is what it is, but hopefully we'll be here in the summer. Hopefully. Gets a lot of complaints, yeah. April, May, June, sometime like that. So hopefully we do get it. And this to me still looks amazing. I loved playing this game. So you got like 4 areas, lots of cards, and the card gameplay based on this board right here. So you have like your health and the villain's health and everything, and your powers and all that lot, and you have to beat your way through each of the individual islands and then take on the main 5 villains, along with doing a lot of exploration, a lot of card drafting, a lot of loot buy-in to basically get your hero leveled up to be able to take on all the bosses. The artwork looks very Diablo. It is amazing to me. Yeah, and stuff like this. Look at that artwork. that is great. So Diablo, it's unbelievable. And I, of course, backed the, whatever it was, the all-in pledge or whatever it was. One of the complete editions. So as I got all this right here, absolutely everything. And yeah, it is still the game that I am very much excited for all these years later, because I just cannot wait to play it. Look at that. The game has changed so much over the course of the years that it's been delayed, because he's given stuff away for free, more cards, more actions, more abilities to build your heroes up to be able to take things on a lot easier. And I just think it's going to be great. I really do, and I'm super hyped for this game, even to this day, even with all the delays. Cannot wait for it to come. And so there we have it. That is all the games that I am excited for in 2023. Thanks for watching.